guys, hello and welcome back to another video. I've just arrived at BD Performance. The man himself, Alan Young.
ST225, is that correct?
Yeah, we
know you've said it
I've said it
times.
I'm trying my best, alright. I want to make sure that they know.
1,000 times you've probably said that.
Guys, we're at BD Performance. We've got loads of things to do. I've got a roll cage in the back. I've got a new diffuser from RSP, otherwise known as Rob Galloway, custom to the pre-facelift. We have got WRC vents. We've got mesh. We're fixing the breather issue, and we're doing so much more. As you already know, Alan Young 225 on Instagram, linked in the description section. Guys, I'm not going to bore you anymore. Let's go inside. Let's get started, because I am so tired. Honestly, I hate doing long drives, especially in a car like this. As you can see, we are taking off the bonnet so that we can start installing the WRC bonnet vents.
The reason why we're taking the bonnet off for the WRC vents quickly before this bonnet gets really heavy is that it's all right doing the RS vents on the car because you've got mainly a single cut through. With the WRC ones, you've got a template for the back and for the front. You've got to cut each individual layer, so the front layer or front skin and the rear skin. It just makes it a lot easier and means that you're not going to get, one, any sparks over that nice carbon dipped engine covers, and secondly, that you're not going to get any sparks over the windscreen or anything where it could actually penetrate and stick into the plastic or the glass.
Now lads, I must ask before we go ahead and get started, one thing that I've been procrastinating about in terms of any vents full stop, does the water going through the vents affect anything in the engine bay?
Not particularly. Everything in the engine bay is pretty waterproof. You don't want anything pouring onto it, so when you clean the car, I wouldn't necessarily deliberately try and get any water in there, but
for sure,
at the end of the day, those cones are designed to be reasonably waterproof, and anything that does come through, it's going to go straight through, isn't it, Ben? It's getting heavy now, isn't it?
We could always end up waterproof checking the stuff that's underneath it anyway. I mean, worst case scenario.
We put this bonnet down before we drop it.
Of course, yeah.
If you put a bag on your air filter when you wash your car, make sure you
take it off.
Right guys, as you can already see, we're going to start off by marking off where we want to actually cut the holes in the bonnet. We'll run you through the process, the best way to do so, so that whether you choose to do it at a garage or on your driveway at home, you can make sure that you get it done properly.
If you didn't have these templates, really difficult to line the top cut up with the bottom cut. That's why these were made in the first place.
This is exactly why I didn't do it at home on my drive, and I drove 300 miles to make sure the professionals did it.
This is exactly why we didn't do it without the templates in the first place, because it probably would have taken us about 4 hours to do, wouldn't it, Ben? Just to line them up, because the first set that was done by ARC originally, this is where these templates came from, wasn't it? They used to have a big, it was ACR even, ACR composites. So this is where that template came from. So they lined them up.
You can see it right there.
Come on.
Okay, so we've cut through each individual skin, the front and the rear. We're just going to hoover out the bits of metal from inside between the two, just to make sure that they don't rot in between. Then we'll dress the edges, and again hoover it out, and then we'll set to touching up the edges so that these again don't rust once we install the vents.
Right guys, just a bit of a backstory. The bonnet, if you didn't know already, is a slightly strange design to the extent that it's actually got a hollow pocket of air in between the two metal pieces. Now the reason that we're not blowing all of the stuff out is we don't want to send all of those metal shards inside the rest of it because not only will they potentially rattle, I suppose, in their own right, but at the same time, it makes much more sense as to why Ben is using the Hoover to suck out the metal shards that are from the hole that he's just been sanding down. So that is why he's using the Hoover. Just thought I'd let you know, just in case. You know what it's like, hater prevention in the comments. I'm sure that someone's got something to say, but either way, there is good reason why Ben is using the Hoover, and we'll show you that now.
Bare metal filings also in between the two skins, they will rust, so they definitely don't want to get inside.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure there's good reason why you're doing that. Do you fancy explaining? Because I have no clue.
Well, I'm just going to paint up the bare metal edges, so again we don't get any rust.
Attention to detail. I like what you're playing at. There we go. Right, so let's have a little look.
See, left all the tape on, so we don't have to be too careful about not getting paint everywhere.
Right, so now we need to cut the mesh to shape to fit it to the vent itself before it goes into the actual bonnet. What we're going to do is cut it to shape so that this piece of mesh can be used for the next 6 or 7 WRC vent installs here at BD Performance. So we're going to do that now, get it sorted, and then we should be able to epoxy it to this. Or is there another way that you want to stick it down, or is epoxy the way forward?
I'm going to go for an epoxy purely for time more than anything. Yeah. Obviously it'll separate quickly, which means we can drop that vent in ASAP.
Sounds good to me, mate. So I notice you're not actually cutting it directly to shape, you're almost leaving like an overhang so that you can fold it over and I suppose add rigidity.
We need plenty of material to actually be able to stick it to the vent itself. So just trying to make it fit the shape of the vent as best we can so that we don't get the problem like we mentioned earlier about the vent not fitting the actual cut that we've done in the bonnet.
Makes sense. So, where are we at? What's going on?
We've cut the mesh to size, folded it kind of somewhere near the shape of the aperture. We've put basically some 2-part epoxy, a bit like Araldite kind of thing. This particular one's called Mega Bond or something along them lines, I think. It'll just go off quicker than, Sikaflex or Tiger Seal or anything like that, which means that we can, as soon as this has gone off in the next sort of 10 minutes or so, we can actually get this vent bonded on.
Oh guys, so just a really quick interruption from the WRC vent install. In the description section below is the new updated live BlockMod raffle for us here at DM Giveaways. So if you don't know already, $4.99 a ticket, basically get yourself involved with the potential to win a BlockMod here at BD Performance, courtesy of DM Giveaways and myself. I was just saying to Darren how sick these cars look without a bonnet. Darren, what do you reckon? I think they look pretty cool. We should go with some like Perspex bonnet option, look.
I think I fit really nicely.
It's about the only thing you do fit into.
Hey! I fit my jeans, just about.
You can hear the weather, guys, just rain pattering against the roof. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to be spending a day or two here. I don't quite know all of the details, but we've got WRC events to go, we've got roll cages, seat adjustment, and some breather kit tweaks. So yeah, we've got a couple things to do. We're gonna have a nice 48 hours, so to speak, here at BD Performance. But yeah, guys, I'm just, not that I need to say this, you probably wouldn't even care, but there's a reason I look so hanging. Every time I seem to come here, it's just this 5-hour drive, and I'm just a bit of a state every time I get here. So I do need like an hour or two just to like clear my head and get out of that like 5 hours of staring at the motorway. Right, here we are, guys. We are that much closer towards getting the actual event fitted. So you can see it's all clean around the edges. WRC vent about to go in, but the tape is there just to make sure that we get it in the right place. and obviously protect the paint at the same time. It seems that everything is dry in that respect, but we're going to put it in now, seal it all up, and then it should be ready to fit tomorrow. So it is the same stuff then that you use on the diffuser, or is it something different?
Pretty much.
Just different colour.
It's just black.
Yeah,
rather than the grey that we had on the original.
So you're going to go around the edges, and then I'm assuming you're going to use these pieces here.
We're going to
put the pressure down.
Yeah, we're going to put them on top of the vents so that when we wrap the tape around, they actually help apply some pressure down.
Sounds good to me, mate.
Looks good, mate. Naughty little modification this is. Honestly, Raj, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Guys, as always, all the links for these items will be in the description section. That's the same every time, so I wouldn't worry about that. Just look below the video to those of you technophobes, and you'll be able to find a direct link to get yourself one of these for yourself. Ooh, WRC vents installed. It is now time to clean up the bonnet. So that's what we're doing. We're getting all the necessary chemicals on just to make sure that we remove any glue residue, any form of bonding agent, and just make sure that it looks as nice as possible. So we'll get that done, and then the owner, or at least the guy that actually makes these himself, will be coming around shortly. So yeah, I guess we'll join you when he gets here. Right guys, now earlier on in the video I did mention to you that Raj, the man himself, will turn up, and if you don't know already, Raj is the lad that makes the WRC vents. Is that correct?
Yep.
And you also have quite a few more skills that obviously we haven't been able to show off yet on the channel. Obviously they're all displayed on yours, link in description as always guys. So like I said, to those of you that are technophobes, if you look under this video in the comment section, you will soon find the link to not only his YouTube channel, but any of the products that he sells. Now, without boring you and without annoying you too much, because I know that this is a bit on the spot with the camera, what other things do you do that might benefit people, not only in the car scene, but more specifically the fast forward scene? Is there anything that you might be able to come up with or create custom?
Yeah. When I'm not going for my phone looking at nudes of Darren. I used to do a lot of ceramic coating, powder coating, interior flocking, and a lot of composites, a lot of bespoke CNC machine composites, and a lot of body panels, custom panels for cars, from fast road cars to full-on fire-breathing track cars.
So obviously with powder coating, could we potentially come over to your unit and maybe do my wheels in the future and maybe show off some of your skills? And,
yeah, wouldn't be a problem at all.
You know, see behind the scenes. The thing is with powder coating as well is it's very easy to pay someone a lump sum, give them your wheels, come back 5 hours later and pick them up. But what I really want to do is go in depth on not so much the how-to, but more the difference between maybe a shite powder coating job and a professional one.
Well, it's like a 5 hour turnaround would be out of the question.
Okay.
So it's all about the prep.
Yeah.
The process is extremely simple. It's all about the materials used and the processing.
Okay.
Mainly doing what you say you're going to do.
Okay. So what would we do in the vent then that say I turned up with my wheels, my alloys, but with tyres on? Can you take them off?
Yeah.
You have the tools?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Tyres
So
come off.
how about we book in at some point in the future, and then the viewers of my channel, all 12,520 of them, get to not only see the wheels get refreshed and potentially touched up in a whole new colour, but more importantly done by yourself. I'm a big believer in doing things locally, and I know obviously that's slightly ironic because BD Performance isn't local, but in my eyes they're local to you, they're friends with you. Obviously now friends with me, it makes complete sense to do it with someone that has obviously helped me without requiring anything in return. So obviously WRC events are looking sick. You guys have seen them in previous videos anyway. You can see them over there if my camera's deciding to stay in focus. But more importantly guys, all of Raj's information will be in the description section below. He is attached with the BD Performance team, so there'll be lots more coming with me and Raj.
but it's lunchtime. I can smell burgers, so let's go and get sorted. I must say, the car does look good with snow foam. It's just a shame it's not from Yum Cars. But what more can I say? This looks brilliant the way it is. Shh. I'll turn you off temporarily. We'll have a little look around. Oh yes, this looks good with the vent, doesn't it?
24 hours later.
Right guys, obviously this clip is recorded the following day, but I wanted to show you in detail just how good this thing looks. So I'm going to remove all of the remnants of all the trees, and yeah, let's take a deep look. So as you can see, not only does it look fantastic and super clean, the edges are all perfect, which is what I was worried about. So I'm super chuffed with that. But yeah, I mean, guys, in regards to why I've only done one, WRC obviously does have two, but in my particular case, I wanted to have a functional vent that also looks different to all the others. Now in this particular instance, this feeds not only more air to the induction kit, but also releases a fair amount of engine heat. Guys, this obviously looks so awesome. But you can see exactly there, you can see right the way through the bonnet. But yeah, couldn't be happier really. Guys, I'm absolutely over the moon that the single bonnet vent is now installed. I just think it looks amazing. So big shout out to Raj, also big shout out to BD Performance. Oh, I just can't even describe, it just looks so good. So guys, if you want one, look in the description section below. We'll obviously see you guys in the next video. For now, smash a like if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we will join you guys in the next install at BD Performance. Peace.